Hello, today I will do chapter 4. So the first sentence is in page 37. Every day Snowball and Napoleon sent out flights of pigeons whose instructions were to mingle with the animals on neighboring farms, tell them the story of the rebellion, and teach them the tune of Beasts of England. So Snowball and Napoleon want to spread out communism to the other animals, to the other farms. So they are using this way of letting others know through the pigeons. I think this was a really good way to spread something. They were very clever, and I think this would work if the other animals are in hard situations because of humans like Mr. Jones. Page 37, another sentence. Most of this time, Mr. Jones had spent sitting in the tap room of the Red Lion at Willingdon, complaining to anyone who would listen of the monstrous injustice he had suffered in being turned out of his property by a pack of good-for-nothing animals. So Mr. Mr. Jones can't believe what is going on. He is very angry. He is kind of embarrassed because he ran away from the animals. So he wants other humans to understand his situation and help him, but I don't know if they will because it wouldn't be easy and it would be kind of dangerous. But if I was Mr. Jones, I would have felt the same way because I'm a human and I couldn't have believed it, and I would be kind of angry to the animals, but I also understand the animals too. Page 38, there is an explanation about Mr. Pillington and Mr. Frederick. Because the sentences are too long, I will just explain. So Mr. Pillington is the owner of the farm Boxwood. He is very gentle. He likes hunting and fishing for his hobbies. He has a very big farm. And on the other hand, Mr. Frederick, he's kind of an angry man. He is kind of violent. He drives very harsh. That's why he got his name. And he has a smaller farm than Mr. Frederick. The funny thing is that these two are really opposite and they hate each other. Maybe if they liked each other, they could unite and help each other, but they don't. I can see this in the sentence. These two disliked each other so much that it was difficult for them to come to any agreement, even in defense of their own interests. And this is also in page 38. I think Mr. Pillington and Mr. Frederick would be worried because the pigeons are sending information to the other animals, and if they get interested, they might do the same thing as they did to Mr. Jones. And I think a good way to be safe is for the two farmers to help each other, but they don't, so I think one of them might help Mr. Jones and the other wouldn't. Why are humans so selfish and hate each other? It's really sad. Page 39, the sentence, bulls which had always been tractable suddenly turned savage, sheep broke down hedges and devoured the clover, cows kicked the pail over, hunters refused their fences and shot their riders onto the other side. I knew this would happen. The animals would get really mad, and this might lead to a rebellion. So the animals from the other farms are really hungry, and so they are turning violent. Maybe they might win just like the animals in the animal farm did, but I would have to read more to know about it. Page 40, the sentence, and yet the song was irrepressible. So this is explaining that humans are not allowing to sing the song Beasts of England because it might harm the humans, but the song is spreading out so fast that almost all the animals know about this song. All the animals in the country are singing this song, and I think this means that animals are trying to join in the communism. They're trying to change the world, even if they are not clever or clever. They just feel that something is wrong. And the humans, when they listen to this song, they're really scared because they kind of feel danger that this might really be the future. There is a really important sentence which I believed. It's in page 40 as well. Jones and all his men, with a half dozen others from Foxwood and Pinchfield, had entered the 5-barred gate and were coming up the cart track that led to the farm. So there was a rebellion, so Mr. Jones ran away. But he is trying to come again to fight to take back the farm. And each of the characters represent something. Well, Jones represents the anti-communists, and Mr. Foxwood and Pinchfield, who came together to help, represent the Western nations that helped the anti-communists. And the animals who are going to be attacked represent the Russian communists. Well, I didn't know that Foxwood and Pinchfield would come together. Maybe they would want something from Mr. Jones because they helped them, because they're kind of greedy. The humans also had sticks and gun, and the animals are good at fighting, so I don't know who's going to win in this battle. I think a lot of animals and people would die and get hurt, so I'm a little worried, but this would kind of be the real start of the book. Snowball, who had studied an old book of Julius Caesar's campaigns, which he had found in the farmhouse, was in charge of the defensive operations. So Snowball, who is very intelligent, is being the leader of this battle. I could see that even if the world of communism comes, pigs or dogs who are clever would take over the high positions. And this battle there was this really similar battle in real life in 1918. I found this from the lit charts too. And in this battle, Snowball, who is Trotsky, played a really big role. So everything is related. I think the writer George Orwell would have think about really small things to tell everyone through this book. Page 41. This was just what Snowball had intended. So there was round 1 and 2. They were losing, and in round 3, the humans think they won, but the animals intended this. There were animals hiding to fight more. I think Snowball is really, really clever, and he has leadership, but I don't know if he is going to use this leadership in a good way or in a bad way, but he seems like a genius to me. He himself dashed for Jones. Snowball is the one who is making orders, but he is fighting as well, so I think the animals would really like him and obey to him after the fight. Page 42. At the site, several men dropped their sticks and tried to run. This part was really funny. I didn't know that the humans would really run away from the animals. The humans brought guns and sticks, but they couldn't win the animals, so they were losing and they were trying to escape. But the animals aren't letting them just go. They are like kicking and jumping on them, so it's kind of violent, but I don't know if this would be possible in the real world, because I think that if humans just shot the gun, most of the animals would die, and I think in real life the animals would lose. But since this is a fairy story, it is possible. Page 43. The only human being is a dead one. So what this means is Boxer killed a human for an accident, and he is feeling very sorry But Snowball says that he doesn't have to be, because the only human being that is okay is the dead one. So we can see that he believes death is possible if for victory. I don't agree with this. I think that I understand the animals want to win the humans, but I think that it would be better to just let them go alive even if they get hurt. Okay, the last sentence. The animals decided to unanimously to create a military direction, Animal Hero First Class, which was conferred there and then on Snowball and Boxer. So they made this Animal Hero First Class, and they are giving it to Snowball and Boxer because they fought most bravely. Maybe this is a good idea because the other animals would see it and try to fight harder the next time. But I think this might be a problem later, because if this leads to, there is this kind of thing given medals to humans, so maybe they might get similar to humans, but I hope not. So this is the end of chapter 4. Thank you for listening. I will see you at chapter 5 and the rest.